What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC Fight Night, Rodríguez versus Stevens from Mexico City just happened the other night, and boy, was it a fun card up until the main event. Eye pokes recently have been ending a lot of fights prematurely. I didn't see the Bellator card, but heard about it. Of course, there was the fight from last card with the heavyweight, forget his name, Todd Duffy, getting poked in the eye, apparently, not being able to continue. This one, 15 seconds in, Rodríguez, lands a couple low kicks. We're getting going. It's only 15 seconds into the first round of a 5-round fight between two pretty exciting fighters to be watching, considering they both are stand-up fighters, different styles, not scared to engage, so it's going to be action-packed. Probably not going the full 5 rounds, although both of them have been highly prepared to deal with the altitude in Mexico City. It's like 7,000 feet. It's quite a bit higher up than Denver, and Denver, gives fighters some trouble. Last time they were in Mexico City, I think it was last time, or the first time, there was a fight with Cain Velasquez versus Dos Santos or something like that. Ended up being a horrible fight because they both gassed out super early, and I think the UFC said they would never put on a heavyweight fight in Mexico City, which I don't think there were any heavyweight fights. There was a light heavyweight fight, Paul Craig, who ended up getting a win, which was a good win. It was a rear naked choke off of strikes. He's looking better. Paul Craig, I liked him when he first came into the UFC. Had some trouble early on. He stumbled a few times, but got some late finishes in fights, but held on, and I think he's getting better. Exciting to watch. But he got a win. There were some great fights aside from the eye poke. It was just so disappointing. Herbert Dean tried to give him as much time as possible. He just couldn't. Stevens couldn't open his eye. So hopefully they get it booked. But the crowd threw drinks and bottles and beers and ice cubes, which wasn't surprising. I mean, the main event for that fight, it was a great card regardless. So it's not like it was a boring card and this was the fight that was going to redeem it. But it was a fight that everybody was looking forward to. Mexico City, Yair Rodríguez, up and coming UFC talent, huge for the Latin American market, specifically Mexico. I think they're building a performance institute down there, so it's an important fight for Yair in his career. Also important for Stevens. He's no slouch. He's definitely a well-regarded gatekeeper in the division. Had his moments for challenging for the belt, but just a fight that, not surprising, everybody was disappointed not to see. Yair Rodríguez was pissed, but hopefully they'll be able to run it back. Still crazy drama show. Just seeing things getting thrown into the cage and just a lot of emotion. It didn't end up, nothing I don't think ended up going crazy, but the reaction was palpable. The co-main, Carla Esparza, got a close decision win against Alexa Grasso. Just a crazy back-and-forth fight. That got fight of the night. Brandon Moreno is back, although it went to a draw. I thought Moreno won it. I'm a fan of Moreno after his season of Tough. He left the league and then came back, or the organization, then came back, and definitely came back in the fight as well. Lost the first round, I thought, but they came back in the last two, I believe. Maybe I'm scoring that wrong, but just an exciting fighter to watch, and it looks like he definitely stayed a lot more composed in this fight. Irene Aldana was just a dominant win against Malau, who I don't think made weight, or one of them didn't make weight because it was a catch weight. And then Steve Peterson was getting dominated in his fight against Bravo, but was able to counter a spinning back fist with a back fist of his own and got a crazy knockout to get the win. Angela Hill looked great in her win. Just overall, it was a fun night of fights, but super disappointing main event. Hopefully, they'll be able to get that fight rebooked soon. It's still going to be a crazy fight. Disappointed. We probably won't see a 5-round version of it. I can't see them doing a late replacement like main carding because it's not a belt fight. So I don't know. Just disappointing overall. But fun that it was on ESPN Plus. And the next card coming up September 28th is also an ESPN Plus card. It is another UFC Fight Night. Hermansson versus Cannonier, or who I like to call Cannonier. I'm a fan of Cannonier. He started out, I think, in heavyweight or light heavyweight, but he's gone down in weight to middleweight, and he's looked great. And it's fun to see kind of new blood getting rising up the ranks. But this fight's from Copenhagen, Denmark, ESPN Plus card. Hermansson, another guy that's on the rise in that division. So it's going to be a fun fight. Both of these guys I could see being pretty close to fighting for the belt. I don't know offhand where they rank in the division, but both exciting guys. The co-main is Mark Madsen versus Danilo Bellarado, and the co-main is, which I don't know either of those guys. Mark Madsen, not ringing bells. It's a lightweight fight. Not really sure. Maybe he's coming off of a Dana White contender series. I'm not sure. Then Gunnar Nelson versus Thiago Alves, which is that's going to be a banger for sure. Interesting style matchup. Although Gunnar Nelson always dangerous on his feet. Iron Kutilaba versus Khalil Roundtree is going to be a crazy fight. You got Michael Oleanchuk versus OSP. OSP is always dangerous. There should be Alex Oliveira fighting Nicholas Dalby. Should be a fun card. I like the ESPN Plus cards. I have ESPN Plus, obviously, it's like $5 a month. I don't have ESPN, so when the fights are on there, I have to jump through a bunch of hoops to watch it if they're on there. But the ESPN Plus cards are nice. And one thing I like about the ESPN Plus cards that Fight Pass didn't do is that you can start watching the early prelims, and then it automatically rolls you into the main card. You don't have to like exit and then click on a different link to watch the main card. It's extended. Where this is a nitpick of all nitpicks, but Fight Pass, you'd be done with the early prelims, and then the next prelims are on, which are still available on Fight Pass. This is back when they were kind of doing all the Fight Pass stuff, and then you'd have to exit out and then go back and click on just the regular prelims, and then you have to exit out and you have to click on the main card. Just user interface argument, that's all. Just the UI quip. But yeah, looks like fun fights. I'm not sure what time they start. Sometimes the overseas cards can have a weird start time. Could be an early start time. But sometimes they tailor it for the West Coast audience, which I'm fine with, considering I'm on the West Coast. But who knows? Could be some fun fights like there were from Mexico City. I didn't really see anybody gassing out in Mexico City. Cardio didn't seem to be an issue necessarily that I saw from any of the fights. But a lot of great fights despite the altitude. And it'll be interesting to see the next fight. This with the fight nights, you never know, because these fighters can this is an opportunity for them to start making a name in the sport. But yeah, that's it for this episode. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!